You're listening to Strange by Nature, your guide to the strange, weird, unbelievable, and improbable wonders of the natural world.
Hello, everyone, and thanks for being here today. I'm Kirk Mona, and joining me are Rachel Gimza and Victoria Thompson. We're all naturalists who together have scoured the world for weird and wonderful wonders, just to please your mammalian brain's desire for novelty. Isn't that nice? Let's do this.
Welcome back to the show, everyone. Let me tell you, this feels wild, one, because this is episode 250. But also it feels wild because I went last week, and like how our rotation works, I'm like, but I went last week, so that means I am not first this week. It's wild, absolutely. So it just feels, you get into routines and you're just like, when it changes. Anyway, so I get to start us off this week, and I have something a little horrifying for both of you.
Oh, good. Horrifying.
Good, like a good horrifying story.
Yay! Now, in North America, in North America,
Correct.
I should say, throughout the entire world, there is a large number of carrion beetles.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there's a large amount. In North America, there is a fairly large carrion beetle known as the American burying beetle.
Yep.
Sure, yeah.
It is we're going to try this. Necrophorus americanus. Now,
Very
when
nice.
I say
Pretty good.
large beetle, we generally think, oh God, is it like 5 inches? Is it a foot long? How big is this beetle?
Foot long.
Oh, awful. No. So this is up to an inch, 1.8 inches in length. So it is,
Couple
it's
centimeters.
big, but it's not ginormous. Okay.
All right.
Okay. Now, they look like a typical beetle. They are, I say typical beetle. Yeah. They really look like any other beetle. They are black and orange. They've got the 6 legs, 3 body parts. On their abdomen, which is their last part, is orange spots. They kind of almost look like stripes depending on which one you're looking at. But there's like 4. And that is where like their wing cover happens. They don't look all that weird. And like they're carrion beetles. So like obviously they are eating dead stuff.
Yeah.
Okay? Yeah, they do. They do that. They like to eat anything that is a vertebrate. They will eat and eat and eat.
Num, num, num.
Delicious. But why would I talk about these weird little beetles?
Because they're
Are
cool.
they weird?
I mean, they are cool and they are weird. So, their life cycle. We're going to talk a little bit about their life cycle, okay?
Okay.
So we've had some wild life cycles here on the show. We've talked about golden digger wasps. We've talked about various parasites. We've talked about hyenas. So there's a lot of ways that this could go. You're welcome in the onset. So I'm going to start this off with saying that the life cycle overall of the American burying beetle is only about a year. They start off as eggs, and then they come out. They are larval. They hang out, and they are in the soil. They are active from late spring through early fall, and in the early fall, they will bury themselves in the soil, and they'll hibernate. Okay,
All sounds pretty typical so far.
Pretty typical.
Yep.
Yeah. New adult beetles will actually emerge in the summer and overwinter or hibernate as adults. So these are the newest ones that haven't actually bred they have not reproduced at this point. Now, once they overwinter, they start looking for mates. So that's like the first thing that they do. But first,
gotta have your priorities.
Priorities. But first they have to find something that is dead, a carcass. Okay.
Oh, I was hoping the word carcass was going to come up, and sure enough, it did.
Absolutely. So they are able to find a carcass anywhere from 1 to 48 hours after it has died. So whatever animal it is, after it has died, it can find one anywhere from 1 hour after it has died to 48. From at least 2 miles or 3.2 kilometers away.
Oh, wow. That really
is
far
impressive
for a beetle.
Yeah, especially for a beetle. Generally, it is able to find it after 24 hours. But okay, so they're finding this carrion. They're finding the carcass.
And are they crawling to it, or are they flying?
They're crawling. They might fly a little bit, but they're searching for it. So they'll follow the scent and things like that. And it could be anything. It could be mammals, birds, some reptiles, or amphibians even, but either is fine. Use anything it can. It just has to have the right weight.
Okay. The right weight.
Uh-huh. They have to have the right weight.
The right amount of food.
Okay.
Kirk is rightfully scared right now. The optimum weight...
I'm concerned. Let's
you
put it that way.
Be. The best sources for the weight of the carcass is anywhere from 1.7 ounces to 10.5 ounces, but the best one is 3.5 to 7. Okay.
Okay.
So that's 80 to 200 grams of.
Oh, thank you, because you said carcass. Ounces and my eyes glazed over. The ounce is the most useless unit of measure in the world.
So once they've found that,
I have no frame of reference for that.
There will be some competition that happens until a dominant male and female couple remain. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And then
carcass fight.
A carcass fight, absolutely. Fighting for whoever is the best and the biggest and the baddest, right? And this is not just between other American burying beetles. It is also between other carrion beetles, because we do have others.
Oh, okay.
Sure.
But what'll happen is the burrowing beetles will they will bury the carcass that they have found.
Hence the name, I guess.
Right.
Wow, okay.
They bury the carcass. And that can take anywhere from 2 to 24 hours. Okay?
I mean, it sounds like a lot of work for a small... I mean, they're large beetles, but they're still...
They're still an inch-ish long, right?
Compared to this...
And this would explain the upper weight limit. They're not doing a deer.
Right. No, they're not doing a deer.
So this would be like a medium-sized bird, maybe, or a squirrel or something. Chipmunk.
Exactly. A mouse. Yeah. Well, so once the couple has buried the carcass, they will mate and then construct a brood.
So romantic.
Oh, it's so lovely. They will mate on the carcass underneath the ground.
Like I said, it's so romantic.
And
honey,
once
we just
it
buried
is
this
successful,
carcass. Does that
they
put
then
you in the mood at all?
surround the carcass in a brood chamber. And yeah. And that brood chamber is surrounding it. They roll the carcass underneath in the ground, right? They strip it
Yeah.
of fur or feathers.
Oh, okay.
Okay. They'll roll it into a ball and then cover it in
In what,
mucus.
Rachel? No.
in
Insect
and I
mucus.
quote
God.
anal and oral secretions to create this brood chamber.
There it is.
Oh.
I don't like any of that.
And it's so
And let's
that
not forget,
way-
this is all around a carcass.
and they do that so that way mold and bacteria don't get to the carcass.
It's a great
Because
preservation technique.
inside, yeah, and that is because they're gonna lay their eggs in
Of
the carcass.
course they are, Rachel. Of course.
Yes.
We all saw that coming. That should not be a
That
shock
was a
at this
foregone
point.
No.
conclusion.
They bury the eggs in the soil next to it, and this is
Okay.
now meal for babies.
Yeah.
The larva will go over to the carcass and they'll eat and eat and eat.
Didn't Gerber experiment with this once? Gerber carcass?
Gerber carcass.
No, that was
Right.
No.
No, they don't have that. Must have been a dream I
No.
had.
Oh, awful. I hate that. Yeah. So the larva will then go into the carcass. Both parents actually stay with them for several days, and they'll actually like make sure that it stays covered and that the eggs are protected and things like that.
Oh, good
That's
parents.
interesting.
They're both
Yeah.
good parents, and they actually stay. At least one of them will stay until they go into pupate. So once they start to go into metamorphosis and go into their pupa phase, and then the parents will die. But like the burying beetles, the adults will actually like feed the larva the carcass that they are like preserving in this brood chamber, and they're really good parents. So it's quite nice. It's just horrifying. 'Cause,
Yeah. It's sort of a mixed message we're getting here, Rachel. It's
Yeah.
lovely and horrifying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Heartwarming
So
and horrible.
Yeah.
And stomach turning.
yeah. So the other thing too is, at least in North America, they are technically able to be found in 35 states out of
Nice.
50, which is pretty good. However,
They're going on
because
right in
of-
your backyard.
However, they've been extirpated from most of all but 9 of those states. They're really only found. They're found in Canada, Alaska, Nebraska, North Carolina, Florida, California. So like they're pretty like localized at this point. Yeah, which is a little sad. They're also happening. They also generally this is all happening, of course, at night, because why would this happen during the day? Yeah. So
Yeah.
I wanted to talk about this because I saw someone in my friend group. Whenever they see something absolutely horrible, they just send it my way, and this was
What a good
my
friend.
topic. What a great friend, right? They saw this, and I looked at it and was like, they what? They bury a carcass. Oh my gosh! Which again is not the first time that we've covered that on the show. I mean, golden digger wasps do something similar, and their prey is alive.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And this is just not.
It's what they do.
It's just what they do. But it was still horrifying, and I needed to share with other people, and so now I have shared with all of you. Congratulations.
You have done your duty. You can sleep soundly knowing that the horrible things in your brain are now in other people's brains.
It's quite amazing that we're able to do that. So yeah, so that's what I have for you all today. My sources, I should say, are the Fish and Wildlife Service. The U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service had absolutely an amazing article with overview and geography and all of that, which was phenomenal.
Cool.
Wikipedia had some pretty good information. Bugguide.net also.
Bug Guide is pretty awesome.
Yeah, it is.
Bug Guide is awesome. Michigan State University, also their extension service, had some pretty good articles about, or had some really interesting little bits as well. And last but not least, the Missouri Department of Conservation also had some fun overview about the species. So have fun. Keep an eye out for burying beetles, I suppose. They're more, I stated earlier, there's a couple different species of burying beetles, so they can be found throughout the entire United States. With the one that I was mostly talking about, that one is technically a federally threatened and state endangered, depending on the state. It's a federally threatened species. They're mostly found in like Kansas, Missouri, Texas, South Carolina, that kind of space, Arkansas, Oklahoma. So yeah, so that is what I have for you both, for all of you today. We're going to take a quick break. And Victoria, I'm so excited to hear what you have today.
Don't take my topic. Don't take my topic.
We'll
Don't
see.
take
Stay tuned. All right, we're back. Today, I am taking us to the Brazilian Amazon.
Oh, phew.
Okay.
I can't tell you how worried I
Okay.
was. For, if we'd done a 2 weeks in a row taking
That
those
would have been-
topics, that would have been.
That would have been
Something else.
hilarious and amazing.
Yeah.
The
I'm not
odds of
taking
that
us to the
happening are
Amazon.
so low.
Whew. Okay, I can take a
Yeah.
big deep breath now and enjoy your topic.
Okay. So going to southern Brazil to the Aquidauana River, which I've never heard of before.
Nope, that's a new one.
And it's a pretty fast flowing river. And recently, they've some strange happenings were recorded there. Some scientists caught on camera.
I never love it when Victoria is like somewhat like hesitant. She's just like, how do I?
It's
That
not
says
gross.
a
It's
lot.
not gross. It's just weird.
Okay.
Okay.
It does.
Fish
What
climbing
about the
cliffs.
fish? What?
Oh,
I'm sorry. Hold on.
I heard you.
You said
I'm
fish
just
climbing
taking some
cliffs.
time to process.
Yes.
We've
Fish
talked about
climbing
fish.
cliffs,
We've talked about fish
climbing
outside
trees.
of water and climbing trees.
Yeah.
Yes, you covered the
Kind
mud
of.
skipper some time back,
Yeah.
which can kind of climb a little bit, right? Like low branches and
Not
stuff.
well.
Not
yeah.
well.
Yeah.
Okay, this fish is
What do you mean they're climbing cliffs?
well,
I think she means they're climbing
I
cliffs.
do mean they're
Oh.
climbing cliffs. The bumblebee
my God.
catfish. Oh boy, this
Great
name.
Of course, it's a catfish.
Okay. Rhyacoglanus paranesis. Okay, that we'll go with
We'll
that.
take
Strong B plus.
Yep. These are little catfish. They're black. They have orange and black bodies, hence the name.
There it is. I was like, they're little, and are they black and orange or yellow?
Yes, they're about 9 centimeters long ish, 3.5 inches.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay. That's pretty
And-
small
That's
for a
the big B.
catfish.
These are fish that were known to science, but not well studied, and they were observed around sunset. So in the afternoon, they were hanging out in the shadows, sheltering from the sun, and then come sunset around 6 p.m., because we're in the tropics, suddenly in large numbers, they start climbing the rocks behind this waterfall. And the height of these rocks ranged from 1 to 4 meters.
What?
Impressive.
3 to 13 feet ish for our American listeners.
Jeez.
Of one rock.
I mean, it was sort of like a series of ledges
Cascade
and
of rocks.
Right.
yeah,
But
cascade,
like
right?
one of the rocks is like several meters.
I mean, the total height, but I
total
don't know
height,
exactly. I don't know exactly.
Right.
It was probably not a sheer face.
It was not a
of
sheer
13
face.
feet. Yeah.
They were sort of
But
clumping up on the
still-
more horizontal portions, and then there were thousands of them climbing over each other and then making their way up the vertical faces of this waterfall.
That is wild.
What?
They so little is known about this fish. We don't know anything about their spawning cycle or location, but it was presumed this group consisted of males and females. This was in November, which is the start of the rainy season. This occurred after an especially dry winter with then a lot of rain happened. And then all of a sudden, boom, all these fish climbing the cliff. So the scientists studying this feel fairly sure that the fish were headed upstream to mate, that this was some kind of reproductive thing.
Okay.
They're keeping their little front fins straight and rocking side to side to ooch their way up and along the rocks. And we'll talk a little bit more about some other stuff that may be going on, but they think they may be forming a kind of suction cup with their bellies.
Oh,
What?
man.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And the reason they think this is, first of all, they got some of these fish out of the water and kind of did some on-site experiments with them to see how they were moving their bodies. And these things started like climbing the plastic buckets that they had with them.
What?
Yeah.
What?
What-
Climbing a plastic bucket? That's like a just completely smooth surface.
Uh-huh.
Oh my God.
This is cool. This is very cool.
This is so cool.
But get this. This is even more mind-blowing in some ways than these fish, is that these are not the only fish that can climb cliffs.
Okay.
Okay.
I mean, as we mentioned, the mud skipper, but the mud skipper's climbing abilities, although it is a very cool fish in many ways, pretty paltry compared to what we are talking about here.
Yeah.
In among these bumblebee catfish, there were actually 3 other species that they observed climbing at the same time, although not in such great numbers. That was the first time they had been observed climbing. 2 other species of different other types of catfish and a darter, South American darter. But there's a whole other group of catfish that live in the Andes in the tropics, called the Andean climbing catfish. The genus is called Astroblepus. It has a mouth that has suction cup properties, and it can climb waterfalls as well.
Using its mouth?
Yeah, and several other South American catfish species. Trichomicturus, or these are genuses, I should say. Lithogenes and Ketostoma.
Rachel, close your mouth. You look like a
I
catfish.
was really interested, so I had to like I had to look at the video, and my jaw's been dropped for this entire time. Everybody, like, what? Oh my gosh! Keep going, Victoria. Keep going.
Give us more.
So as I mentioned, they had collected some of these in the field to just kind of see what they were doing with their bodies, and they did seem to be kind of making a suction cup with the underside of their bodies. And this use of the whole body as a suction device has been shown in the past in various types of fish that live in swiftly moving streams and rivers.
Okay.
Which
it makes sense.
it does make sense, because you have to have some kind of strategy if you're a fish or other aquatic creature to keep from being swept away downstream, if you want to stay in one spot in the river.
Right.
So previously,
and not expend a ton of energy swimming to keep yourself in the same spot.
Exactly. Yes.
Right.
Now, a lot of fish like find an eddy or shelter behind a rock, but some of some of these species that we're talking about do kind of suction onto rocks and other substrates. So some experiments have been done in the past with hill stream loaches of Southeast Asia, and these showed that they used sort of three strategies all working together to create this kind of negative pressure or suction area under their bellies.
Cool.
So first of all, their bodies are kind of flattened on the bottom. If you think about something, if you have like a bean bag or something and, it flattens out when you put it down on a surface, kind of like that. They look like that. So they can control the water that's coming in under their body by detaching and redetaching their barbels to the bottom. They can push out any water that's under their body during their respiration process. Like when they, I don't want to call it breathing in, but, bringing water in through their gills. And they
Respirate?
Yes. And they can remove excess water by waving their rear pectoral fins. And so probably the bumblebee catfish are doing something similar to this, if not exactly the same, because their exact exactly what they're doing with their muscles hasn't been studied. These were other types of fish that were looked at in more detail.
Sure.
And as mentioned, some other species use their mouths for suction cups, or even can kind of hold on with modified fins, which these guys use for climbing. And I did go down a bit of a side rabbit hole, because there's a fish that's from Eastern and Southern Asia called the climbing perch, which is quite remarkable. It can walk on land. It can breathe out of water, apparently for quite some time, like on the order of days.
Wow.
But despite the name, they cannot actually climb, as far as we know.
They just climb out of the water, basically.
Sure, yeah. And I think there's a story I saw, which who knows, but one source I said said that they had been discovered in trees, and so the legend came up that they had climbed there, but most likely they had been dropped there by birds or something.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
But they can walk pretty well. Anyway, so that's, climbing fish. When I saw this, I knew I had to bring it to the show.
That is cool.
Yeah,
Thank you.
what?
I first saw this in a Live Science article. The scientific article that it's based on was published this August in Fish Biology by Manuela Mourinho and colleagues. Bumblebee on the Rocks: Massive Aggregation, Migratory, and Climbing Behavior of a Small Neotropical Catfish. Nice. Unfortunately, that was, other than the abstract, it was behind a paywall. So I actually got some good information from a TikTok person, Zeke Darwin Science, who had an informative video about it, but also put clips of the screenshots of the paper on his TikTok.
Awesome.
So I was able to read parts of it.
How you can.
Phenomenal.
Thank you, Zeke. And then a couple of other helpful papers. DeCrop et al. From July 2013, Functional Morphology of the Andean Climbing Catfishes in the Journal of Morphology. And then DeMeyer and Gurenks, May 2014, Using the Whole Body as a Sucker, Combining Respiration and Feeding with an Attached Lifestyle in Hill Stream Loaches. And a little bit of background information from Wikipedia.
Oh, amazing.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
You are welcome. Climbing fish.
Wild.
And that is not the topic that Kirk has this week, so we're going to take a little break and
It
we're
is
going to
not.
find out what that is.
Oh, man. This'll be fun.
Okay, yeah, I think this will be fun, Rachel, as you said before the break. When we think of predator-prey relationships, I think we're biased by megafauna. In fact, Rachel, you talked about a megafauna relationship last week with predator and prey.
Oh, 100%.
I think
They're charismatic, you might say.
Yes.
Yes.
And I think we're biased because it's what we can easily observe outside. It's what ends up most filmed and shared on everything from Wild Kingdom on TV to quick videos from tourists on TikTok. Like, We've likely all seen lions hunting gazelles or an osprey snatching a fish out of the water in slow motion. This is what usually comes to mind when I say predator-prey. Owls and mice, killer whales and seals, big predators hunting down and catching smaller prey, right?
Dragonflies eating mosquitoes.
Yeah. However, that isn't always the case. Sometimes the predatory animal is the smaller one.
Oh.
And that's especially true when the predatory animal is a parasite.
Oh, well, yes. I mean, is that a predator relationship? I mean, parasite versus predator.
We're going to get there.
Oh, yeah.
We'll get there.
We're getting into semantics, aren't we?
A little bit. How does a parasite hunt down prey, right? Clearly, some just rely on chance. They're hoping to be, drunk up in water or eaten in food. Some actively hunt for their prey, though. And a new research paper published in our favorite journal.
Oh, the Proceedings
of the National Academy of Sciences. or PNAS for short. It details this amazing hunting method. This was published October 14th, 2025, so fairly recently, if you want to read all the details yourself. So the predator in this study was a nematode.
Oh.
And we've talked a bit about nematodes on the show. They're pretty wild.
They are considered a predator, aren't they?
Yeah, you can basically think of them as like a tiny worm, okay? And this nematode, like many others, lives in the soil. The one they studied in this study was called Steinernema carpocaceae. And
Kirk,
this thing is...
I think I saw this paper.
It's possible you did. This is very recent. This thing is really tiny. It is less than a millimeter in length. Right? So this is small. Their target is small as well. These nematodes attack fruit flies.
Oh.
And of course, fruit flies are
tiny,
very small and tiny as well. So how they attack them is pretty nasty. The nematodes contain bacteria internally that don't harm them. And when the nematode gets on a fruit fly, it crawls in through whatever opening it can find, and then essentially excretes or, somehow disgorges this bacteria into the fly, and the bacteria then infects the fly. This is biological warfare.
Yeah, that's pretty harsh.
Within 48 hours, the bacteria has killed the fly. That's very fast.
That's awful.
Yeah,
wow.
And the nematode
Talk about a bacterial infection.
Then has a feast feeding on both the rapidly multiplying bacteria, thus getting them back inside their body. And they're also, eating whatever tissue is left from the fly itself that the bacteria haven't gotten around to digesting, essentially.
Huh.
So this is pretty wild. Several generations of nematodes will live and die inside this fly cadaver. Look at that. Talk about cadavers again.
Yeah.
Carcass.
You can think of this cadaver as like a hotel/farm, right? Because they're living inside there temporarily. Yeah. They're literally farming bacteria inside to eat. This is wild. So eventually the juvenile nematodes will leave the fly carcass, enter the soil, and wait for another fly to infect. Now that is strange enough. That's pretty weird. But think about this. Nematodes live in the soil.
Right.
Fruit flies, pretty famously, fly around in the air.
I was sort of wondering how that works.
Yeah, how do the nematodes even find the flies in the first place? And that is precisely what these researchers were trying to figure out. And now what we already knew was that these nematodes are capable of shooting themselves into the air.
No.
What?
Yes. Okay. They can actually curl up and then forcefully, uncurl and fling themselves skyward.
No, thank you.
When they detect a fly flying overhead. That's cool and all, but imagine how good the aim of this little sub-millimeter nematode needs to be. They can jump 25 times their body length. That would be like Rachel jumping 133 feet into the air. To use our standard unit of measure, the Rachel. Okay? So that is
for everyone else who is around, I can maybe jump up a foot. Maybe.
I'm gonna test you on that later this week. See if you can really have a foot vertical. 133 feet.
Lucky.
Yeah. Now, granted, they're not going 133 feet. They're going 25 times their body length, which, keep in mind, is very small. So we're not talking a huge area. But if a fruit fly is flying past the soil, they can detect that and fling themselves up in the air. But imagine, though, that this tiny nematode launched itself high into the air at a fast-moving target.
The timing is wrong.
The trajectory.
With, no way to change course. It then needs to land on something as tiny as a fruit fly without missing and without being, blown off course by the slightest breeze. This is an amazing task, but one the nematode is quite good at.
It's small. It's smaller than the fruit flies. So, but, oh my God. Yeah.
So how do they do it?
They don't have brains. Math.
Essentially, no, right?
What? They just do it. Whoa.
I mean...
Well, researchers wanted to know how they were able to do this, and they think they now have the shocking answer.
What?
Did either of you catch my clue?
Oh, is it shocking?
Researchers propose that they are using static electricity to automatically home in on their prey like a heat-seeking missile, as it were.
Oh.
This is so cool. I assume most of us, I know the two of you I'm sure have, but also a lot of our listeners have played around with static electricity. Like if you rub wool or full fur like on a balloon, you can get confetti to jump up off a table and stick to the balloon. Sometimes
if you
clothes,
just rub your socks on the carpet or rug and then touch anybody.
Well, that's if you want to shock someone, but I'm thinking about like that static charge. Like, when your clothes get kind of statically charged, they end up kind of sticking to you, or like dog hair comes flying at you and sticking to you.
Or like when you take something out of a dryer, for example.
Sure,
sometimes it's clinging to itself.
Yeah. Yes. And we know that small things can become overwhelmed by static charges and become attracted to each other. When we're talking about small things, static charges can be far stronger than even gravity. And we think of static charges as just like an amusement, something to shock your friends with or something, or to make little, things stick to a balloon. But if you're as small as a nematode or a fruit fly, static charges are one of the dominant forces of nature. Like gravity really has essentially no effect on you compared to a static charge, which is so much stronger at that level. So what researchers were able to show is that when a fly beats its wings and moves through the air, they actually build up a static charge on their bodies. Nematodes don't actually need to aim perfectly. They simply launch themselves into the air when they detect a fly passing by, and they let the static charges do the rest. As long as they get close, they will magically be drawn right to the fly and stick to it just like, lint sticking to your clothes fresh out of the dryer, or confetti sticking to a balloon or something like that, or dust sticking to a balloon, right? The same principle.
Whoa.
So here's what the researchers figured out. A charge of 100 volts on the fruit fly resulted in a 10% chance of the nematode hitting the fly, while an 800 volt charge resulted in an 80% chance of the nematode hitting the fly. Now, these charges may sound like a lot, like 800 volts, but static charges are very high voltage, very low amperage. Like when you touch a doorknob and get a shock in the wintertime, that can be as much as 35,000 volts.
I mean, that hurts.
Yeah.
It does.
But it's just a brief little snap. So in that context, 800 volts is like almost nothing. And easily within the range of what insects can build up on their bodies by flying through the air. In this case, the researchers wanted to be able to control this. So this is just wild with how small a fruit fly are. They placed a tiny wire on the back of a fruit fly so they could apply voltage to it on a fruit fly.
A
wire.
Flute fly.
A flute fly, yes. They placed the wire. They placed a wire on the back of the fruit fly, and actually were able to apply a voltage so they could control exactly how much of a charge was on the fly. That alone astounds me. That someone figured out how to do that. Right?
I want them to get the Ig Nobel Prize.
They then traced the path the nematodes took as they jumped at the fly. And there's these like videos of like all the different like overlaid attempts, and you can see all the little tracers like pew 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 as all the little nematodes are jumping, and it's actually tracing their path as all the lines converge on the fly. That's
wild.
That's so
very
amazing.
Cool. We will have to include that video in our newsletter. So again, if you're not subscribed to our newsletter, why are you not subscribed to our free newsletter, you guys? You get it every week in your mailbox, and we put all the visuals for the show there. So when you hear something, you're like, I want to see that. Look in your mailbox. It's already there. It's so cool. So this whole field of research is known as electrostatic ecology. Love it, love it, love it.
Electrostatic ecology.
Amazing. Did not know that even existed. Electrostatic ecology. It's a pretty fascinating field of research. I'm sure we're going to learn more about it over time. There are amazing forces at play in our universe. And depending on how big you are or how little you are, static electricity may just be a fun curiosity, or it could be a powerful force of nature that can lead a predator straight to you, which is kind of terrifying to think that, like,
so scary.
Just this is like a horror movie. Like, the more you move, the more you attract the predators automatically to you. Like,
and it's not even like
horrifying.
not even it just you move, you breathe, anything like that.
Anything
it's
you do
not
builds
sound,
up a charge.
It's just whoa.
There's no
Well,
way
that's
around
horrifying.
It,
I hate that.
See it in
Although I
your
wonder if
local
we're going to
cinema.
find. Yeah, I wonder if we'll find, as we study this more, are there some animals that can somehow naturally dissipate their charge such that they do not attract like nematodes and things to them? That's fascinating. I want to know that.
That would be really
but
cool.
that'll have to wait for another time. My sources for this story this week were the article in PNAS called Electrostatics Facilitate Midair Host Attachment in Parasitic Jumping Nematodes. And also a good story from UC Berkeley News, because this research was done at UC Berkeley.
Phenomenal. Also, if no one has studied if any animals can dissipate static electricity like that, welcome to your PhD.
Yeah, no kidding, right?
You're welcome.
That's
no charge.
Yeah, that would be amazing study.
Just
I want to hear
credit
about
us
that.
in your dissertation.
Please.
all your
Oh
requests.
gosh, if
Yes.
our show someday got credited in a dissertation somehow,
It'd be
that
amazing.
would
God.
be
I would
make me so happy.
I would cry.
All right, folks, you heard it here first. Your goal is to make Rachel cry.
Harder than you think than you would think. I'm not
You have to get a
not
PhD.
crier.
Yeah, it's a lot of work.
No, I'm not much of a crier.
On the other hand,
Maybe in like movies, but like
Okay.
real life things, not as much.
Oh, I was thinking about movies and stuff like that. I cry so easily.
Oh. Yeah. Well, yeah.
The end
it
of Star
depends, I
Trek Inner
suppose.
Light, where Picard is playing the flute. Oh, sorry, I'm a nerd.
I haven't seen
All
that
right,
one.
folks.
Doctor Who.
Everybody
and
have a
that's it.
great evening, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Thanks, everyone, for listening to today's show. Be sure to subscribe. New episodes drop every Wednesday, and we love sharing this strange world with all our listeners. If you would be so kind as to leave us a 5-star rating and review wherever you get your podcasts, that would be great. It lets other lovers of the strange discover the show. You can reach us by searching for Strange by Nature Podcast on Instagram, Facebook, and Blue Sky. You can send us an email as well. Our address is contact@strangebynaturepodcast.com. If you want more information about the show, you can check out our website, strangebynaturepodcast.com, and you can support the show and get ad-free episodes at patreon.com/strangebynature. Until next week, get outside, stay curious, and embrace the strange.